Well, it's July 3rd, Wednesday, and I'm back to get a little more work done. Forecast has got decent weather all the way through Friday, so my plan is to open up the deck and basically finish off the repair over the next couple of days. Tomorrow I probably won't do too much because I have to go sailing. But other than that, I'll get going on it and hopefully we'll have this done. Unfortunately, I forgot my regular camera, so I'm shooting video on my phone today. So you won't have any video of me working, but you will see some video periodically as I pause to show you progress. Okay, off to work. Well, I've been at it for about 2 hours. I've got this opened up. Some of that plywood on the outer edge is in horrible shape. I'm going to have to get that out of there. It's going to take some effort. And you probably won't be able to see it very well, but I have opened that up to the outside. I have a little bit of cutting left. It's a little hard to get to, but I'm gradually getting it done. And I still have about 1 inch to go on the other side. Let's see if we can see that. Yeah, you can see it over here where I've got a little bit to go on this side. And I've cut, I'll put the camera underneath here. I have cut some wood out here and have a new piece just sitting up there. I have a little bit of trimming before it's ready to put in, but I'm going to glue that in the next little bit. And once I get everything cut out here, nice view out the back of the boat, I'll put in a new piece of mahogany in there to replace that. And it'll screw in on the sides and down here on the bottom. And up at the top, I'm going to cut that wood up there out, and we're going to replace all of that. So, we're getting there. Got a big hole in the boat, so I got to get this fixed. In the worst case, I'm going to have plastic taped over that tonight, but it won't be too much more than one night before it's all closed up again. And the leak is really bad out there on the outside edge, so I'm probably going to have to go up and open up the deck up there from the top and replace some of that outside edge, particularly along the tow rail. So that's going to be a little bit of effort, but it won't be too hard. It's pretty easy to work up there. And we'll get her all done. I'm making significant progress at the final tear apart today. Anyway, back to work. Okay, things are coming along. Here's the opening that I made. I'm just about ready to start putting wood back in. I've got the piece of wood for down here cut, which I'm going to glue in a little bit, except I left my glue up in my car, so I got to go get it. And then I'll be cutting the pieces of wood that fill that hole a little bit later this afternoon. I still have to go home and recharge my batteries again, and then that hole and the nice view outside will be gone. I still have, I still have a little bit of wood to tear out up here. That won't take too long. Once I have battery power again, I can get that out of there, and we will begin to close that up. So I'll have the big hole closed up today, and I'll start working up here to close up the rest of that. I think I'm going to have to go up on deck and pull off a piece of the tow rail and seal things up there to completely eliminate the leak that I have over here. But that shouldn't take too long. Just a couple cuts, back out a few screws, put some caulking compound in, and put the screws back in. So I would say that by the time I go home tonight, for good, I'm going to go home again in about half an hour and charge my batteries, because again, I don't have AC power here, just DC. So I'll go home and charge my batteries, and I'll come back, and when I get back, I am going to cut the wood for that opening out, put it in, and we'll start putting things back together. And hopefully, by the end of the day, we'll have a good deal of it back together. Not all of it, but enough that the boat will be weather tight. Okay, time to keep working. Well, I've got another piece of new wood epoxied in underneath the deck there. I took out the old deck planking and put in that piece of wood. It isn't quite as thick as the planking by about a 1/4 inch, so I'm going to put a piece of plywood underneath it, but I'm in no rush to do that. I'll do it in a little while. And the next step is to close up this hole. That might leak if it rains. So that's step 2. Then I've just got a little bit of wood up there and out there to remove. Once I get that bad wood out, it'll be all new wood going in. So let's take a look at it from outside. Okay, everything is coming close to being finished. The last couple days have been really miserable and in terms of heat and humidity, and I didn't feel like filming. So I was feeling pressed by bad weather, which is supposed to come this afternoon. It's Saturday, the 6th, and so I didn't film installing the exterior bulkhead or this interior bulkhead, which is 2-inch thick Douglas fir. And today I just sanded everything out, puttied all the imperfections, and tomorrow I will come back and sand it out again. Up here is all that's left, and rather than try to cut all that bad plywood out, what I've decided to do is to open up the deck. So tomorrow, when the weather is supposed to be clear for the next 3 or 4 days, I'm going to go up there and cut open the deck over this hole so that I can lift off the existing fiberglass and the plywood that's underneath it. And on this side, I will cut off those plank ends about the middle of that deck beam. I'm going to screw down the fir tongue and groove V-groove planking that makes the overhead up. And then I will put down a layer of plywood over that with epoxy, and then I'll leave it overnight for the epoxy to cure. That day, I'm going to clean off all of the old plywood on the piece of fiberglass that I remove. And at that point, I will come back and glue that piece of fiberglass down with epoxy, and the job will be finished except for some painting. Okay, so let's take a look at the repair from the outside. Okay, here's the outside view. That's 3M 4200 that I pulled all the seams with. The center seam is epoxy joined, but I put some 3M 4200 under just to be sure. And tomorrow I will sand that all out and get it nice and smooth. That's the project so far. I expect to be completely finished in about 3 days. A lot of that time will be spent waiting for epoxy to cure and paint to dry. So, you enjoyed watching. Sorry I didn't show the installation of this piece, but it's a really tough place to work. I had to stand in my dinghy beside the boat to do this. And other than that, it's pretty well done. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe if you did. And don't forget to click that notification bell.